Oh,
Hello and welcome everyone to the Vexalis Space Cup Group Stage B. I am your shoutcaster for the nice Abyss, and with me, shoutcasting with me is the wonderful one and only Anger, and we are here for our day number 2, but day number 1 of the Group B group stage, and I am excited to see what we have in store for us. We have a lot riding for us. It's gonna be 3 games, only 2 games gonna be streamed, but of course, these 2 games are going to be exhilarating, exciting, and I can't wait to see the games play off. And I got to ask Anger, how are you doing?
I mean, I'm doing fine right now because we have a bunch of Valorant to get through tonight. We have two wonderful games between Lowriders versus Periwinkle coming up next, and Smellas versus Vexalis Lunaris, if I'm not mistaken. So it's gonna be an exciting day today, Abyss.
Oh, I'm very shaken by the team names. We got some very
Yeah,
interesting ones, I gotta say.
I
So
mean,
at least you know the players have a sense of humor, right? Like it
yeah.
makes it a lot more fun that these players are here to have a good time, but a competitive time. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So we are going to be having those two pairs duke it out in this group stage, and yeah, I gotta say it's gonna be an exhilarating one. We had our games for for Group A yesterday, and now it's Group B this time. We're gonna be having Group A again. If you're here for Group A, we are gonna be having them once again tomorrow. But if you're here for Group B, yes, we are gonna have the games like coming up soon, very soon, and of course the map bans, map picks as well. But before we get into that, once again, of course, it's gonna be us just talking about what's gonna happen. And I'm looking forward to how these games will be moving forward, especially since we just had a few of the VCT kickoffs as well, the regionals being played out. Anger, do you have any thoughts on that?
I mean, it just started, so like I'm definitely excited on how it's gonna end up. But more importantly,
Yeah,
I'm more excited for Toronto because
of
Fnatic just
course, of
won.
course.
Yeah,
Ah,
Fnatic
that
just
was an
won EMEA.
exhilarating one.
Dude,
Yes,
so glad to see them back there, back on top
I
of
agree.
EMEA.
I
So glad
agree.
that Paper X is coming back to the international stage after missing out in Bangkok.
Yep.
Like a bunch of things happening, very exciting things happening for Valorant, but yeah, like bringing it back to this game, if you guys weren't here yesterday for the Group A stages, the matches are really good. Like the teams are able to duke it out against each other. Very competitive tournament that we have. I don't know about you, Abyss, but like I was watching some of the games, and I'm very excited for the rest of the tournament. I'm really excited to see how it comes down to like Sunday during the finals. Yeah, the finals.
Yep.
Like, have you seen any of the games yet?
I actually did get to see quite a bit of it. Oh wait, you're talking
Mm.
about the day number 1, right? Is
Oh
what you're
yeah,
talking about?
the Group A,
Yeah, yeah,
the Group A
yeah.
games.
Group A,
Yeah,
Group A. Yeah, I did get to see a bit of it. Of course, I personally have. I know someone. I think you know who. I think you know who I'm talking about
I think I
as well.
also know
That
who you're
got to
talking about.
play
Yeah,
as well. So a little bit of a personal. How do you say it? Personal connection with some of the players,
a little bit of
and
bias. Yeah,
hey, as casters, we are gonna do this unbiased. As of
yeah, that's
course,
true.
we gotta keep it exhilarating and fun for all the players, all the teams. It's gonna be straight, normal, professional casting as always. But yeah, I got to see a bit of it. I some insane clips. We did get. I think we got our first ace as well
Yeah, we did.
yesterday, and
We did.
I think that's exactly the person we were talking about.
Yes.
So it's perfect to see how day number 1 kicked off in such a stellar fashion. It's already looking good. This tournament's already looking good. It's a week long tournament.
Mm.
It's a long one, I gotta say. And I think that makes it a lot more fun, a lot more exciting for the viewers and for the players as well. Because just like Batman, they get some prep time, and that prep time that goes a long way.
Mm-hmm.
And Anger, if they do their homework, we can see some really fun strategies coming out here, especially in the drafting stage.
Yeah, I mean, like in Group A, we already saw some teams trying to dominate, trying to show their power to everyone, right? Like, I think, wait, hold on, I'll just check the team names again, because yeah, but we already have
Yes.
some of the early strong teams, like the ones
Yeah.
that's like really really out there to win it all, I guess, right? And it's like a warning for all of the other teams that's like, oh, we gotta watch out for them. We gotta do our homework for these guys because they're
Yeah.
really good, right? Like yesterday we had Astrite going 3-0, like the only ones to go 3-0 in their
My
group. The rest
gosh.
are going 2-1, 1-2, 0-3. So like you already know that some of the teams in Group A are gonna be running through the VODs of Astrite if they have any, like how can we defeat these guys, how can we win, right? So it's very exciting, so because we get to see these teams, like we get to see these teams throughout the week and how they perform, who's gonna rise to the top, who's going to be the underdog in this. Like I find it really fun especially for the viewers, right? You get to pick a team at the start of the tournament right now and then see if they make it all the way through to the finals if ever and win it all potentially. So it's very nice to see that type of tournament. You don't see that very often.
Yeah, I am already looking forward to today's games. I mean, it's gonna be an intense one if day one taught us anything. If Group A day one taught us anything, is that these teams are already pretty competitive, so
Mm.
to speak. And we are going to be going into the map pick and bans. It's gonna be Lowriders versus Periwinkle, right? If I recall correctly.
Yep.
And we are going to be seeing the straight off the bat map pick and bans. It's going to be Ascent taken off by Lowriders. And I'm pretty surprised by that because Ascent is generally a standard pick. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, Ascent, definitely one of the maps of all time, as you know. Like with given the new agents with Tejo and Wele, we're seeing a bit of a shake up on the meta now. We're seeing less and less of the quote unquote meta comp. But yeah, in this tournament so far, I've noticed that we play a lot of Lotus or Haven. Like from the games that I've seen yesterday, it was Haven and Lotus. So I'm
Yeah.
expecting to see those maps, but I'm willing to be pleasantly surprised by this team. We're still waiting on the bans for Periwinkle, but Lowriders, I guess the reasoning for the Ascent ban would be like they're probably trying to hide something, or they probably just don't want to play it. They want to play some other
I
map that they're
mean,
strong at. So yeah,
yeah.
it's a reasonable pick.
I mean, Ascent has been in the map rotation for so long, and then it got taken out, and then got put back almost immediately,
Hmm.
with barely any changes. I think some people love this map, and some people are absolutely sick of this map.
Mm.
And I don't blame the players of Lowriders to just decide to ban it out completely, because might as well just not play it at all. So it
Mm.
is a best of one after all for this group stage, right? So might as well play a map that your team is 100% confident in. And finally, we do get the second ban. It's going to be Pearl. A very interesting map to get rid of, I will say.
Mhm.
It hasn't been in the rotation for, well, I guess it's been in the rotation for a while already.
Yeah,
But
about the season. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, for about a season already. So it's interesting that they actually decide to ban it out instead. Of course, not everyone is comfortable with it,
Hmm.
but I'm looking forward to possibly an interesting map pick because Anger, I gotta say, you mentioned Haven's been played a lot yesterday. Maybe we
Mhm.
get something else this time.
I mean, so far it looks like we are not gonna be continuing that path because we still have
Oh my
Haven and
gosh.
we still have Lotus. But Sunset, the following map pick, Sunset, a little bit more of a common map that we've seen around in like
Oh,
PCT. Oh, Haven, Haven and Split have been banned as well. Hmm.
that was
And
quick. And we
that's
are
very
going to Lotus. It is
yeah.
going it is going to be the final map here, I believe, as what we can see. And Anger, we were talking about it already.
Hmm.
How we had Haven and Lotus. Looks like we're having Lotus again. And are
Yeah,
you surprised
and
by that?
Not necessarily, but yeah, like seeing the side picks right now, we're gonna see lowriders on defense first and Periwinkle on the attack. So this could speak to the playstyle of these teams, maybe, right? Like maybe Periwinkle might be more attacker sided. Like they might have something cooked up there. But I'm very excited to see their take on Lotus because like from yesterday, we saw a lot of different comps being played by different teams and to varying effect, right? It's interesting to see if these teams will bring out something new, bring out some comfort picks, play something completely wild but might be effective. So I'm very excited to see Lotus once again in this game, in this tournament.
I mean, some pro teams, some tier one teams have been experimenting with the waylay on Lotus, I believe, if I recall correctly. So it'll be fun to see that if any teams wants to bring out the waylay. If not, that's completely fine. I mean, Raze, Neon, general duelists are basically workable. There's a workaround for them as always in terms of the meta.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not gonna be surprised if we see standard play style from both teams. But if anything, I'm looking forward to what these teams have in store for us in terms of their aim, right? Because that's
Mm-hmm.
where it's gonna really shine.
Yeah.
And I think if anything, we have a lot going for us based on what we've seen in the first day.
Yeah. I mean, a common theme that I've seen around these teams is that they love their Omen on Lotus, like as the pros do, right? Omen, very versatile agent, one of the strongest agents right now in the game because of the smokes, the TP, the blind, the best ability in the game, the blind, the paranoia. So like I've seen a lot of Omen in Lotus being played, and yeah, like no matter what the comp is, it could be like a raise comp or like uh a neon comp that I've seen. Yeah, Omen is a constant variable, so I'm expecting to see him being played in this game today. So yeah, I'm more curious to see about what kind of uh playstyle they're going to run. Like if they're going to run a double initiator or double controller, because that dictates
Oh.
how you want to play Lotus, like the pace that you want to take it. Do you want to go in fast? Do you want to play around the entire map, take as much map control as you want? So that really that can really be read from your comp. So yeah, I'm more excited to see that for tonight.
I mean, you mentioned double controller, and I believe it was EDG that ran double controller, if I recall correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, of course, we're not going to be seeing EDG anymore, sadly, because they didn't qualify. Instead, we're going to be having new faces, I guess. And Wolves, right, is a new face in the international scene. So that's
Mm-hmm.
going to be a fun one, I will say. But it's going to be, in terms of team compositions, anything can really happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's up to the creativity of the players, right? I'm expecting the usual fade, most likely Breach, Tejo. Tejo
Mm-hmm.
nerfs haven't come out yet, so
They
or as
haven't.
far as they have not. So
Mm-hmm.
he's still kind of strong at the moment, still in that OP range,
Kind
and I
of.
think if these teams really are going to quote unquote try hard, which nothing against them, this is a competitive
Mm.
scene after all,
Yep.
it's going to be that Tejo that I'm expecting. But of course, I think beyond meta, comfortability is like the
Mm.
top priority of players generally speaking. I mean, it's unless they're tier one players, in which case they have to follow the coach's draft. But some of these players are just here to participate in the tournament after all.
Yeah, they're just here to have a fun time, but you know, what's fun about losing? Of course, you want to win about like the game, right? So, like I do expect these teams to bring out their best, like play whatever they're comfortable with, play their best agents, right?
Yep.
So, yeah, I do expect them to, I expect some wild picks. I won't lie. Like they could run.
I'm hoping for it.
I hope. I hope. Honestly, like
I'm still hoping for the waylay.
Oh yeah,
Admittedly,
like
I'm
Waylay.
still hoping for that.
Dude, a good
That
Waylay can decimate a lobby. So like if they can do that, by all means take it. It's
I
gonna
mean,
be
the
fun to
thing
watch.
is, waylay I think just doesn't fit a lot of people's playstyles, and I think she as an agent still needs a lot of work in terms of what's like necessary, right? In terms of
Yeah,
how to play it in an actual comp.
yeah.
And I
And
think that's the difficulty.
yeah, and also not to mention, you also have to set up your Waylay up for success. And the good thing about Waylay is that you can bail anytime if it fails, if your execute fails, right? But the amount of
Yeah.
ability that you need to actually throw out for the Waylay to get a pick and get out to make space for the team is kind of difficult as well if you're not a pro team because the lack of coordination and whatnot. So yeah, I do understand the difficulty in Waylay.
Yeah.
Like yeah, so it's gonna be hard if these teams run it, but if they can run it and if they are successful, yeah, that's gonna be a terrifying team to play against.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to what these teams have in store for us, and I believe we are going to be starting very soon. I am looking forward to it.
Hmm.
There's gonna be I mean, it's group stage, so I'm not gonna say a lot rides on this, but at the same time, in group stage, it's very deceptive. You can relax a little bit because the stakes aren't necessarily high, but you want to get a good seeding as much as possible going into
Mm,
the playoffs. And
yeah.
of course, if you play too lax in the group stage, you might end up not qualifying. And I think that's a little bit of the scary part, right? So
Mm-hmm.
gotta make sure you're up and ready here. It is gonna be game number 1 of Group B, day number 1. And I'm looking forward to what Lowriders and Periwinkle have in store for us. They must have something ready to showcase, not just to the viewers, but of course to their opponents here as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first day after all for Group B, so this their first impression to the rest of their group, right? How well are they going to
Yeah.
perform? How scared should the other teams be of your team, right? So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, this is their first chance to show off their skills, you know, show off their dominance, and like show what they've got to the rest of the group and to the rest of the tournament as well for the players waiting over in Group A. So yeah, very excited for this game.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And with that being said, of course, as always, make sure to share the stream as for all the viewers watching. Share the stream with your friends, maybe even family if you wanna support with like everyone and everyone's interested in Valorant as well. And of course, if you're supporting one of the players here as well, yeah, show your support in the chat. Show your support as much as possible. It'll be greatly appreciated. I'm sure the players would absolutely love it. But here we are, Anger. We are going to be going straight
Mm.
into the agent select. And right off the bat, are we going to be getting it?
Probably. Are we getting a double duelist? Reina?
I mean,
It
I'm
could be
looking at
interesting.
the attacking side. I'm looking at the attackers,
Oh wait.
honestly.
Oh wait. Oh, we have not seen a Phoenix in a long time if they do play it. But is this 5 controllers they're hovering?
This is most definitely
This
a
has
bait
to be
play.
troll.
It's a troll. It's a troll. That's for sure.
This
I,
probably
I'm
has to
I
be a
wouldn't
troll.
be surprised if this is just gonna be a troll hover, if anything. But
Mm.
I mean, they're probably just gonna select whatever agent they're gonna be playing. But you're gonna be seeing, of course, the standard meta, old meta. I'd say it's old
Mm.
meta
It's old
of
meta.
the
Mhm.
Fade Raise Breach, right? I think that's very standard. We've seen that countless of times early before. So I'm wondering if Periwinkle will have their own take on that, because it seems like instead of the raise, they're hovering that neon.
Yeah, so this is they're running the old comps, the stink lack of the Tejo, the pre-nerf Tejo that we've been talking about. So, this will be fairly standard. We're throwing it back to kick off in VZT, when the teams ran this comp before Tejo was released. So I do appreciate it, respecting tradition. But we do see the neon over on the side of Periwinkle, which is a slight deviance from the standard comp that lowriders are running, because neon, as we know, very fast, but not doesn't have the stalling ability that Raze has with her nades and her satchels and the boombot as well. But what she does lack in stalling ability, she does make up for rotations and also making a lot of space really quickly. So yeah, it's interesting to see that they're going to run it first on the attacking side. So I expect them to be running around across the map, making a lot of space with explosive execute. So it, the stalling ability of the Raze and the Killjoy is gonna have to be superb, and also the Breach to stop this unstoppable object. There you go.
Well, if anything, we're gonna be seeing a good game of Valorant. That's what I'm looking forward to. And of
Mm-hmm.
course, we're gonna be starting off right off the bat. 6 seconds left on the clock. Looks like we're gonna be seeing somewhat of a standard default coming out from the side of Periwinkle. They don't wanna fully commit, it seems, but the stun comes out towards Rubble, and it looks like Lowriders are gonna be contesting that Rubble control. They're gonna be stacking 4 players towards that angle. Of course, Kenny S Jr. is gonna be playing towards a baby door angle instead. But looks like they're going to be opting for this B hit, and they're going to be utilizing that Prowler for that information here, Anger.
Yeah, I mean they already have control over Rubble here on the side of Low Riders, but early contact here over on B.
Yep, they're trying to break the utility, and so far they were able to do so successfully. A little bit of chip damage on to Taken by the Wind, but it wouldn't really matter too much at the moment. They are able to draw the attention from Lowriders away from A towards B, so it's going to be the lone player that is Potato Curler in Rubble, and they are going to be executing. He needs to be careful. They need to be careful at the moment because it's going to be the Haunt on forward. Doesn't actually clear them, and it looks like Potato Curler will be able to get first blood, looking for another one, but Sarah will be able to cut him down. It's going to be down to a 4 versus 4 now, but it's going to be the execution. Rubble control now in favor of the side of Periwinkle. They are going to be executing towards the baby door, and it looks like it's going to be the lone Ashna able to get the kill onto Sarah. It's going to be Killjoy v Killjoy, and it's going to be in favor of Lowriders. 3v4, Zeus is there with the trade, and it's going to be down to the 3 versus 3. But the plant will be secured.
Yeah, gets a kill over the baby door.
Yeah. Dox was able to find a kill on the Zeus. And of course, it's going to be another kill for Kenny S. Jr. taken by the Wind. All in on this lonesome. Down to the 1 versus 2 now. We'll need to clutch it out. Does throw out the Haunt for some information. But it's going to be the stick, possibly with the swing. And it will be taken by the Wind. Taken away by Dox. Pistol round goes in favor of Lowriders.
Yeah, you can see the plan already for the side of Lowriders here. Take Rubble control as much as possible because that's going to be a thorn on Periwinkle's side there because they have to use so much utility to clear that out. And they didn't even spot Potato Curler there in the corner there. Senpei was caught off guard with that raise in the middle of nowhere. So that was just that did wonders for the side of Lowriders, you know, stalling out the time, limiting the options of Periwinkle there, and that's gonna give them the advantage for this next round. They're gonna have to be running some Bulldogs, a Guardian, and a Spectre to win this anti-eco.
Well, I gotta say, it was a close round nonetheless, and looking at it, Periwinkle, they're gonna be forcing some stingers here, so they actually gonna be forcing this round. Senpei gonna be running on forward, the fault line onto Heaven, and it looks like the Paranoia is gonna be coming out as a response from Kenny S. Jr. He'll be able to pick up the kill onto Kamacha, Omen v Omen, and will be taken by the Wind with the trade out. Senpei has actually found themselves right into the smoke, able to get the kill. The Ducks goes for another, a little bit greedy. However, the rotation has been made, and they've actually gone towards the C side.
Yeah, that was a very smart decision there because they knew that they were going to lose over on B, so they switched over onto the C side. Now they got 2v3.
2v3, yeah, it's gonna be another advantage for the side of Lowriders. Remember, Periwinkle, they decided to force buy this round. Sarah looks away at the wrong moment, does get blinded by the flashpoint. Looks like the full blind will get them killed, and it'll be down to Zeus in the 1 versus 3. The fault line does connect, stunned up, does have a stinger at hand, but it won't be enough. Potato Curler to find the kill. Anti-eco round does go in favor of Lowriders.
Yeah, I mean, very smart there on the side of Periwinkle, but sadly just not enough because of the lack of proper weaponry there. But yeah, like looking at their economy right now, it doesn't seem too affected right now. It's a little bit of a broken buy, but they should still be fine here. There are a couple of rifles coming out here. But then again, because of the amount of damage that they were able to do to Lowriders, they still were able to keep 2 rifles there, a shotgun, a Spectre. So relatively close round, I should say. You know, like, anyone could still win this round. This could be the chance for Periwinkle to get on the board.
Well, looking at it so far, Rubble control won't be contested for the side of Lowriders. You're going to be leaving it open. And it looks like Periwinkle are going to respond and take it. Sarah needs to be careful. Gets dinked just by the classic, I believe. So, a little bit of damage on the lurker of the side of Periwinkle. Needs to back away. But they're going to be opening the door here. It looks like they're going to be contesting towards A side. However, the Aftershock, Avocado catches Zeus off guard. Not expecting the Aftershock to actually reach that distance. And already you lose a player on the side of Periwinkle. You're down a man. It's going to be a bit more difficult now.
I mean, on the side of Lowriders as well, they're still all over the map. They still have control of their sides. Looking a little bit dangerous here because of the 3 players. They are going to be calling Sarah over to rotate and help it to execute here. But Lowriders are going to be ready for this.
Periwinkle, I'm not sure if they're ready for this because at the moment, it's going to be this crossfire double stack up. They're going to be breaking the door instead. Looks like they're looking to fake out a B hit, but in fact, it's going to be this A hit nonetheless. The crossfire is going to be gone. Opening the door up, it looks like they're going to be pushing on forward, taken by the Wind, taking the lead, but it looks like Avocado gets taken down. First kill for the side of Periwinkle, and it'll be another Senpei finding another onto Potato Curler. It's going to be 4 versus 3. Kamacha finds another as well. The Ducks, suddenly, numbers advantage gone. It will be the relay bolt and the swarm grenade stunned up. Ashna can do nothing as Kenny S. Jr. 4 on their lonesome in the 1 versus 4 with the Spectre. Not enough. Senpai finds the triple kill, and it will be bonus round going to the side of Periwinkle.
Yeah, I love that. I love that fake out by Periwinkle there to destroy the door. That, like, lowriders are already on the edge of their seats, anticipating where uh Periwinkle were gonna go. Were they gonna continue the A, or were they going to split B? Because they have shown that on the previous rounds, right, where they shifted over to another site from rubble. So that just shows the amount of conditioning that they already had. Maybe a little bit jittery on the side of lowriders, but that was well played on the side of Periwinkle.
Yeah, it's all about conditioning your opponent, and I gotta say, they are switching it up this time. They're going to be going towards this C side hit, but this is the Killjoy setup, the alarm bot, the swarm grenades. It will be the Nightfall coming out as well. They're gonna be looking to execute onto C side, but will they clear the corner? No, Ashna gets one, finds a second. There's the trade, but at the end of it all, it's a 2 for 1, and Ashna will be glad with that. 3 versus 1 now, and it will be Sarah split across the map, not with their teammates at the moment, and it looks like they're gonna be backing away. They're aware of it. Avocado with the flashpoint. Not sure if it spotted out Sarah. Will be able to get some chip damage. Does actually spot out Sarah on this alert. It looks like Avocado needs to be a bit careful here. Sarah falling lower and lower by the second, but we'll look to back away instead here, Anger.
Yeah, I mean, the immediate rotate to call over to Ace here, you can see already coming out from the side of Periwinkle. Lowrider still a little bit cautious all over the map, but this looks like they're going to end A or possibly a B pinch.
Well, at the moment, it's looking like a B pinch because of Sarah's lurk, but look at the response. Faultline comes out from Avocado. They're trying to deny it, and look at the side on A. It looks like Avocado finds the kill onto Sarah, but at the moment, it looks like they're trying to contest towards the A side. Dux needs to be careful on the 1 versus 2, but gets a lot of damage onto Senpai. Looks like the Aftershock will be coming out. Gonna match it with the lurk, with the Bulldog, gets the dink, but it's not enough. But Edo Curler with the Phantom, the better gun, able to find a kill with 14 seconds left on the clock. I don't think Senpai can do anything at the moment. The Prowler comes out, doesn't spot them out. We'll go for the swing, but it's not enough. Another round for the side of Lowriders. They're up 3 to 1, and that was Rifle v Rifle.
Yeah, I mean, Periwinkle a little bit caught off guard there by the setup of Rob there, because they didn't check the corner. Like, probably the Fade Haunt didn't spot him out immediately, so that definitely led to the stall of Rob there to be more effective, let's say, right? Like, you could already see, like, if you saw the map a while ago, the lowrider players already outside of C waiting to retake, immediately flood in. So, very good stall there from Rob.
Yeah, I think the Nightfall didn't connect on the Ashton, so yeah,
I didn't think so,
Rob. Yeah, so it was very lucky in terms of his regard, but at the same time, unlucky for the side of Periwinkle. They committed an ultimate, and with that, it's gonna be a bit difficult now. Fault line comes out onto Senpai, trying to push them back a little bit. Ashton's pushing up forward as well, trying to get some space. The Prowler does connect onto Kenny S Jr., but he's gonna be backing away. It looks like it's going to be another stall out for the side of Periwinkle. They don't want to overcommit at the moment. They are going to be running into Killjoy's setup, but it looks like they're going to be going for the C-side hit. Prowler does spot out one. However, they're going to be executing on forward. The Paranoid does blind up Senpai. They're going to be pushing this despite the blind. However, it's going to be enough. They are going to be getting a free side, but it's Kenny S Jr. on the backside. Gets taken down by the wind. Sarah finds it onto Ashna as well. It's 5 versus 3. This is the aggression coming out from the side of Periwinkle. They find the space, and they secure the site. It's all down to 3 players left on the side of Lowriders. Flashpoint on forward. Avocado goes for the swing. Unable to find the kill. Ascamacha finds it, and it's all down to Potato Curler in the 1 versus 5. Does have a Phantom at hand, but with the credits low, don't you think saving will be the better option here? But looks like he's going to be going for more. Gets the kill, gets a dink, but it's not enough. Taken by the wind with a 3. Closing out the distance. 3 to 2 now. It's just a 1-round lead.
Yeah, I mean, I think the common theme among the both of these teams is that they find strength in numbers, right? Whenever Periwinkle plays a little bit defaulty, they make micro mistakes there that lead to the round loss. But whenever they do stick together, whenever they do use their utility properly, like Taken by the Wind was able to clear out the corners there, was able to isolate Rob on C-side alone, they were able to dismantle Lowriders there. So if they keep doing that, they should be able to win more rounds. But Lowrider also sticking together once they know that the enemies are there in that part of the map.
Yep, and at the moment, speaking of sticking together, they're actually pretty stacked up on the side of Lowrider towards A side here. Of course, Kenny S Jr. holding onto that baby door angle. Possibly gonna be looking for that paranoia if they look to fight out towards Rubble, but it looks like the side of Periwinkle, they have control, but I'm not entirely sure if they want to utilize it. I think they're going to be holding on to it for as much as possible here, but they're going to be faking out some information towards C site, possibly with the lurk. Of course, it is going to be Sarah pushing up towards Mound, and of course, it looks like they're going to be backing away on the side of Periwinkle. They do not want to force the issue, and this will possibly be the C site hit. But Anger, this is where Killjoy is.
Yeah, I mean, they were able to deal with the Killjoy last round, so they should be able to replicate this.
Oh, they break it, yeah. They break some of the swarm grenades, they break the alarm bot as well, so they are actually able to execute, and Ashna will have to back away. So this is another free site. Mind you, 2 ultimates on both teams. Rolling Thunder on Avocado and Zeus. And of course, that showstopper for Potato Curler will be vital, will be important going into this retake position for the side of Lowriders. But they are on the Sheriffs. They are going to be committing nonetheless. Showstopper on the front lines, looking for a kill. However, Ashna finds the kill on the Senpai instead. The showstopper is still available. Potato Curler gets taken down before they get to utilize it. Taken by the win with a double kill. Rolling Thunder to stall the plant, the defuse. But it's already been halved up. They can look to stick this. The Hunt comes out, doesn't secure any information at the moment. Flashpoint available. They're gonna be defusing the spike. They're able to defuse it under the noses of Periwinkle.
That is insane. That takes some incredible balls to do that, because it's a whole battlefield going out there, you know, outside of that smoke, and they were just able to stick it. And I think that was thanks to the amount of space that the showstopper gave, right? They were all over on sand there. Despite it getting no kills, it still gave them the amount of space, just enough space for them to take to get on the spike and defuse that. It just well played from the side of Lowriders. And look, they already have 4 ults because of that.
Yeah, they only had to commit 1. They didn't even commit the Rolling Thunder. And speaking of which, Rolling Thunder is available for this Rubble control or contest if Lowriders want to contest this. But at the moment, they're just going to be committing the Aftershock. Dogs needs to be careful, gets taken down, and will be taken by the wind, taking away that Rolling Thunder. That breach is now gone. Nightfall is available and will be committed. Senpai on the front lines trying to push on forward. But at the moment, they're going to be backing away into side of Lowriders. They don't want to take the fight just yet, but it will be taken by the wind. Taking the fight to them instead. Asa gets taken down, but Kenny S. Jr. is there with a quick trade around. But now down to the 2 versus 4. Overdrive is available if Senpai feels threatened to use it. But at the moment, with numbers advantage and not a lot of utility left remaining on the side of Lowriders, it's all down to Potato Curler. Relay Bolt doesn't land, but it will be that lone raise. Trying to find a single kill. Will be able to find a kill on the Sarah. Stunned up with the fault line. Senpai running on forward. Not going to be committing towards the rope. But at this position, Potato Curler able to find a second as well. With the paint shells available, will be able to close out possibly another kill. But with the time ticking, with the spike, the time not in their favor, it will be Senpai to punish. And will be another round for the side of Periwinkle. And looking at it, the game's pretty even.
Yeah, it's a very close game, but during that round, Periwinkle, very decisive A-take, very fast, very explosive. That's the type of thing that we want to see them do, right? Because we already know, and the players also know, that Lowriders love the Rubble control, right? So being able to take that control away from them and able to execute onto site that quickly is possibly the kryptonite that Lowriders have on this A site. So yeah, they should consider doing that again, but we're gonna see a B-C side lurk here on both teams, actually. Like, look at the bulk of the players. No one's on A at all.
Yeah, wow, this is very interesting. This is not something you normally see on a map where Rubble is generally contested. No one's on A. And with the fake out dark cover towards the A side, they're going to be trying to fake out some information. But look at the spike. This is a fake out. They're going to be opening the door. They actually lead the players of Lowriders away from C side and they're going to be committing the lockdown. Kenny S. Jr. will look to Paranoia as well. Will be utilizing the Shrouded Step to go on forward. But it's a little bit of an overstep, if I gotta say. And it will be down to a 4 versus 5. Of course, this is an eco round for the side of Lowriders. They aren't here to win the round, rather do damage. And it looks like they're unable to do so. Looks like it will be full-on damage for the side of Lowriders instead. And with the overdrive activated, Senpai looking for more. But Sarah will be able to find the kill. Flawless round for the side of Periwinkle. And with that, rounds are tied.
Yeah, I mean, if you're on the side of Lowriders, you should be fairly okay with that round. You still have the advantage coming into this round. You still have 4 ults to use here. You have the lockdown, you have the Rolling Thunder, you have the Fade on. Like you should be able to coordinate those ults to convert it into a round win. But overall, I think that Periwinkle is able to properly properly use that round. Like even though overdrive was utilized on an eco round, should still be fine. They should be able to build that up very quickly before the half end.
I mean, at the very least, it secures a flawless, right? So a lot
Mm-hmm.
of damage done. But Sarah needs to be careful. Doesn't actually spot out Ashna. And Ashna takes the kill with the Guardian. And that's an opening first blood. Of course, Kramachas at the very least able to find the kill. The ducks down towards B site. But at the moment, it's down to a 4 versus 4. Killjoy down on the side of Periwinkle. Not really worth much, I'd say, in terms of the attacking side, but that is your flank watch dead. And but speaking of flank watch dead, Potato Curler punishes because of that. Finds a kill right as I say it. A little bit of the caster jinx, I guess you can say. But with that, Potato Curler has found themselves deep in enemy lines, and Senpai will be able to punish. But look at the spike. It's moving towards C site, and it will be an open site at the moment, taken by the wind. Takes down Kenny S Jr. And it's down to 2 versus 3. Really Bolt doesn't connect. It's a self-stun. Asna goes for the kill, finds it, gets a third as well with the triple kill. Avocado with the Rolling Thunder, but it does not connect with the taken by the win. In the 1 versus 1 now. They're both one hit anchor.
One
It's
bullet.
all down to the one bullet, and will be taken by the win with the clutch in the 1 versus 2. Taking the kill, and finally, this time, Periwinkle are in the lead.
That was an amazing round. I don't know how Periwinkle was able to pull it off, but taken by the win. Amazing clutch there. Able to isolate the duels there from wait, who was that? From Avocado and from Rob. Yeah, from Rob. Because the Haunt was able to reveal Rob just a little bit. Unfortunate because the Haunt was able to see that. But yeah, I mean, exceptional positioning there. Exceptional play from the team, conditioning them around B and C. So yeah, like, no comments, no notes. Absolute
Yeah.
cinema.
Oh, by the way, I actually Google translated the Japanese name, and it translates to Ashna, so that's why I've actually been saying Ashna. I hope it's accurate. It's Google Translate after all, so it could be completely wrong. As far as I know.
I do not know how to speak Japanese. I will not.
Neither do I. So it's all up to Google Translate, and I hope it's correct here. But at the moment, Potato Curler trying to push on forward. The turret does get recalled, but at the same time, Potato Curler needed to back away. Does get spotted out, and Sarah playing a dangerous game, all on their lonesome here at the moment towards C Mound, aggressively towards the entrance of C. Actually, in fact. Kenny S Jr. making some information known, but it looks like Rubble is free for the taking for the side of Periwinkle, and it's gonna be an A side hit. Dox needs to be careful. Senpai with the attacking side operator gets a kill. And with that, numbers advantage for the side of Periwinkle. They may look to go for the B split angle. Prowler does connect into Kenny S Jr. Doesn't get the Bucky shot off, and taken by the wind punishes. It will be another aggressive position towards his B site. And of course, with Sarah on the lurk, just
30
pulling
seconds
away the
left.
information away from Ashna, it's gonna be a free plant towards B site.
Yeah, I mean, they should have the advantage here, positional advantage. They have all angles accounted for here, so they should be able to convert this post plan.
I mean, this most likely will be the case, yes.
Yeah,
But
I
at
mean,
the moment,
look,
Potato Curler can look for something, and that's exactly what I was hoping for. Because Potato Curler will be able to find a kill, but taken by the wind does take down Ashna instead. Avocado responds with the Sheriff. You cannot count out these pistols. And then once again, the Showstopper just doesn't seem to do anything. It's just Potato Curler can't seem to catch a break.
Yeah, I mean, it could be the drinkers, the showstopper not hitting. But yeah, we're gonna have a timeout here from the side of lowriders here to to consider their options, because right now Periwinkle is doing better now compared to the earlier part of this game, because I just have to say, right, like, I love the way that they do their B rotates, right? Like once they have a rubble control, they know that they always have the option to switch over to the B side, because they know that they have control over B main there. They know that they can easily clear out Baby Door there. So they're
Yeah.
just very confident. They're very secure in their decision to rotate over to B. And I think that's a main point of weakness that lowriders have to consider, because we know that they can defend these sites, but it just so happens that Periwinkle just know how to clear out their angles. They know how to flush them out of these spots. So it just makes it harder for them to retake the sites.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, it's all about taking space, and at the
Mm.
moment, I feel like Periwinkle has just been able to consistently take that for free. Like, there's
Mm.
very little punish from the coming out from the side of lowriders, and I think that's the difficulty of Lotus and why it's commonly known as an attacking sided map
Mm-hmm.
because of the three sides, right? Similar to Haven, I'd argue, but Haven, there's a lot of ability to play in the site.
Go, go, go!
In against a Breach comp, it's very difficult to do so.
There.
Especially Breach Neon, who can basically just run at your face. It's hard to play the side angle. And Potato Curler, hold on for a second there, just took a kill, took down Sarah all the way towards a Rubble. And that's the contest I was talking about. That's what they needed, right? They need to contest early for this space anger. And now it kind of forces the side of Periwinkle into the C-side hit because suddenly the Lurker's just gone.
Yeah, I mean, this is what they pulled out during their pistol round, and I'm glad to see that they're pulling it out again because look at this, they're already in the spawn. They could cash out this rotate from
Oh.
Matcha.
Yeah, but Kramacha, I mean, it's all gonna be about timing here. He's gonna be turning away, and this will be the timing necessary for Potato Girl, the Nightfall, and the hands of taken by the win. But you gotta watch your back. You gotta be ready for this hit
They're surrounded.
because they're
Look at
gonna
the
be
map.
pinched. They are gonna be surrounded. They don't have any aggressive utility. They only have the Nightfall, and it will be Zeus getting chip damage. Just get revealed. The flank has been revealed already a bit too early, a tad bit too early.
Face your
And
fear!
Potato Curler gonna be pushing on forward. Nightfall being neutralized. The operation shot doesn't land. It will be the kill onto Avocado. Instead, it actually does land. But the side of Periwinkle, they decide to just push
30
on forward
seconds left.
and take the fight into their own hands. They're gonna be taking the seaside instead. They don't want to handle the flank. Well, might as well just take the front line.
Spike planted.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing how Periwinkle was able to counter that. They were surrounded, and now they have full control of side.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, and now Zeus takes down Kenny S. Jr. It's all down to Potato Curler. And I will say, with it being a 1 versus 3, this is the top fragger of the side of low riders. There's always the possibility, but this is an open plant. Lots of possibilities for the side of Periwinkle to play these angles, so it's gonna be a bit difficult. Potato Curler may be caught unaware, and with the fault line available, this haunt being thrown out as well, it's gonna be a full information. Satchel on forward, unable to find the kill. Kramacha takes it. And now it's gonna be a 3-round lead for the side of Periwinkle. Last round of the first half
Last round
is gonna be the next
before
round.
the switch.
Yeah, I mean, just a micro mistake there. Zeus getting tagged too early by one of the two players on the flank just signaled red flags, over the side of Periwinkle that, oh, we might be surrounded, it's now or never, we push the side. And that's exactly what they did because it could have been very, very bad for
that what they're
Periwinkle. It
doing?
could have
I
ended
like it.
in a lowrider win, but unfortunately, they were just able to push forward and take the space that they needed to in that round.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this right now. Periwinkle, they are looking strong right now. They looked a bit shaky at the start, but they finally found their footing on the attacking side. The question is, can they carry that over onto the defender side? Well, we shall see. There's still one more round after all. We're still here on this first half. So a lot can happen, but look at it. A site completely open. Lowriders not deciding to take the space. And will be the Rolling Thunder being committed. Does stun up Senpei there just for a little bit. But I will clear out the side. Really ball being utilized. A lot of utils now gone on the side of Periwinkle, mind you. And with that, it's going to be a full 5 versus 5 retake. The spike has been planted. Nightfall and lockdown available on the side of Lowriders. They can look to commit this utility. And this should be an open site now with the lockdown. But they have to commit it now. And with the rest of the players on the side of Periwinkle playing offside, it's gonna be Sarah opening up with the first blood. Sees as well, does connect on the Potato Curler. But with the lockdown available, they're gonna be being pushed back, taken by the win, gets the kill. Down to a 3 versus 5. It's gonna be the retake. Flashpoint onto 3. Finds 1. Finds a second. Ashnad's good for 2. We'll look for a third. No. Sarah punishes. And we'll be down to 2 versus 2. But the spike is being defused. They're looking to fake out the kill. It's down to the 1 versus 2. Nightfall being committed. But it's a bit late. The time is not there for the side of Low Riders. And with Ducks being the last remaining player, not enough. Sarah knows it. And with that, 4-8, Periwinkle take another round. That's gonna be a 4-round lead in the first half.
Switching sides.
Yeah, I mean, everything just came tumbling down for the side of low riders there. They had the utility, they had the ult, they had the lockdown. They were able to flush them out from that angle to make it onto the site. But man, Periwinkle are just so relentless, right? They still had a bunch of utility that they could use, right? They still had the stun from the breach. They still had the neon stuns as well. Oh wait, no, sorry, they used that. But they did have the stuns, they did have the blinds. they were able to still contest the space even after being flushed out, and this is gonna work to their advantage because Periwinkle now, as you've mentioned a while ago, Abyss, Lotus is an attacker-sided map, so they need as much rounds as they can on this defensive half to help them win this map because right now they're gonna be contesting A rubble space as lowriders do, but it's gonna be a B push, a full B rush here.
Yeah, but it's a slow play.
it's a slow.
And at the moment, yeah, look at that. The turret does spot them out. And look at this. It's going to be the baby door play. Fault line is perfect. Does stun up on the 2. Potato Killer stunned up. Doesn't find a kill. And this is the quick response coming out from the side of Periwinkle. They're here to take the fight instead. Sarah with a double kill. It's all down to Asna and Kenny S. Jr. They're on their lonesome towards the B side, opening up the door. This is pistol round, but it feels like a buy round coming out from the side of Periwinkle. They're here to set the tone for the second half. And at the moment, Kenny S. Jr. and Ashna so down. They don't want to take the fight just yet. Dark cover does come out, taken by the wind, is looking to push it. Does want to risk it a little bit. Hunt comes out, gets broken. The right click from the classic. Down to 22 HP on Ashna. But it's gonna be a slow play. They're just waiting for an overextension. But look at the discipline coming out from Periwinkle. They are not overextending whatsoever.
And they know that they have them essentially trapped here. They still know that 2 players are here.
Last player standing.
Yup, and with that, it's gonna be a clean round for the side of Periwinkle. A flawless at that. And they already have a good lead, by the way. If they can continue this on forward, it's gonna be an anti-eco.
Yeah, I mean, like, one thing I do notice from Periwinkle is that they do love their B pivots, right? Like, even in the defensive half, they still used Baby Door to rotate over on B when the call was made to defend the site, right? To play for site. So it's just nice to see that they have the protocols to, you know, to rotate fast. They do have the pathing to work this out. So given the weaponry they have now against Sheriffs and Classics, they should be able to secure this round easily.
Don't want to say anything too soon. Sheriffs can deal a lot of damage in the right hands. The question is it on the right hands at the moment? We shall see, because at the moment it feels like lowriders haven't been able to like push anything or take any space or even win any duels at the moment. But this could be the lurk from Sarah, and it's gonna amount to not much. A little bit of damage on the avocado. Paranoid comes out as well. Kramacha able to find a kill. And it will be suddenly 4 versus 3. This is what I'm talking about. The Sheriffs can do a lot, and with the Spectres picked up, they have a bit of not rifles, SMGs now on the side of lowriders. They can look to fight this.
Spike
Yeah,
planted.
Karmacha peaked a little too early there, contested the space.
Yeah.
A little bit too aggressively there, but now it's gonna be a 4v3. They still do have the rifles there. Zeus gonna be on the Stinger, so full utility as well.
Bot line. This can connect perfectly. The Haunt comes out, gets broken down. They're gonna be running on forward. Senpai able to find 2, but they don't currently there with the double as well. It's gonna be the response. It's only a Stinger in the hands of Zeus in the 1 versus 2. Looking for the flashpoint, but it's not enough. Asna collects the kill. The anti-eco round. I was telling you, Anger. This is exactly the turnaround they needed.
Yeah, my bad. That was caster cursed, but
Caster cursed.
caster cursed. But yeah, but given the situation there, from what I've seen, Periwinkle had control of Rubble and Sands there. It's just a little bit of a misplay there, but credit to where credit's due, right? Avocado was able to use his fault line perfectly. They were able to take note of Sarah there on that corner. So once that first domino falls, it's gonna be one after the other once they have control of that side.
I will say now, with that win for the side of lowriders, they have rifles. And on the side of Periwinkle, they're on 2 Buckies. So, not a lot to work with. Of course, this is a Neon with a Bucky, mind you. So, could be completely deadly, but I don't think the Bucky is very useful at that distance. I mean, was able to do some good damage, but it's not enough. Dux actually finds a kill taken by the wind. A little bit of an over push. Tried to push on forward. Avocado takes down Sarah as well, trying to utilize the Bucky close range, but it's not enough. Flashpoint is perfect though. Senpai is able to run away with a kill. Run away laughing with that Bucky shot. And it will be down to the 3 versus 4. They can look to push this with the fault line as well. It will be able to stun up Kenny S. Jr. And at the moment, Dux is able to respond quickly. It will be a triple kill for Dux at the moment. Bucky shot's not landing, and Potato Curler finds the final kill. And will be 6-9 now in the score line. And it will be a clean round coming out from the side of lowriders.
I mean, that was to be expected, you know, Bucky's playing that far back is not gonna be very effective unless they push that. But you know, lowriders are aware of what they were dealing with. They knew how to stop their pace, right? Once they got the space on their side, they were able to, calm down, hold their ground, and just let the players of Periwinkle come to them. But now it's gonna be a little bit of a weaker by, rifles, but half shields and regen shields. Hasanpei gonna be fully equipped here, but the
Yep.
instant contest over an A rubble. Now they're gonna be running over to the seaside, and that's gonna be Sarah down. That seaside open.
Yeah, that's the killjoy dead. A little bit of an overpush, a little bit of an overconfidence peak coming out from Sarah. And with that, free seaside hit. And there's still the lurking ducks, by the way. Just waddling around towards B main. We'll need to be careful because it could be a kill, but it goes in favor of ducks. Trying to look for another. Faultline comes out to hunt as well, and it will be Haha Senpai to punish that duck, just trying to find some space. But not enough. But it will be damage dealt at the very least 1-for-1. So now Haha Senpai in the flank will be able to find a kill onto Avocado. Suddenly, it's gonna be Kenny S Jr. looking for a kill here, unable to find it, but it's gonna be a 3 versus 3. Overdrive is available. Haha Senpai can be looking to utilize it with the flashpoint coming out as well. Will be the fast lane coming out, not using the overdrive at the moment with the dash, with the high drive. Overdrive not being used, but it will be the relay bolt instead. But with time ticking, do they have time?
No time.
There's no time.
Yeah, there's no time. Zeus has to run if he wants to keep his rifle. He's gonna be
I don't
fast.
think it. Nope.
No.
Not maybe.
Okay. But yeah, I do love that instant rotate, just showing some presence over a rubble on the side of Periwinkle here. Wait, Periwinkle? Yes, on the side of
Yes.
lowriders there, because once they saw that breach flash, on the side of Periwinkle, Sarah was just forced to peek, just to make sure no one's peeking there, and that's when they took advantage. They were able to get that shot, and Seaside was immediately open there. So, a little bit mind games there, but well played from the side of lowriders.
At the moment, though, lowriders, they have a big advantage in terms of firepower at the moment. Periwinkle don't have a lot to work with in terms of rifles, but they do have that overdrive still. Ha Senpai hasn't utilized it just yet, and it looks like the flashpoint is coming out. They're going to be contesting the rubble control. Ha Senpai trying to look for a kill. Kramat's is the one to find first blood, but Avocado's quick there to kill out Ha Senpai. Zeus ends up falling as well. It's out to 4 versus 3. Kramat's gets stunned up. And it's gonna be down to the 2 versus 4, and they're gonna be split apart, taken by the wind, all on their lonesome here, holding down towards C. We'll have to hold it alone, and with the paranoia, it's looking like a clean round. Sarah tried to go for the flank. I don't know if they heard the sheriff shot, but they do hear it now, that's for sure. Yeah, that's for sure now. It's gonna be a difficult round now. We'll be able to pick up the Vandal, but in the 1 versus 4, I think Sarah might just save this.
Yeah.
If they can, actually. Avocado looking for it. Oh, Sarah with the quick shot.
Oh no, but Dux is already rounding up the corner here. Sarah's in a dangerous position. They could lose this rifle. Oh,
Be careful. A little bit of timing, and Dux finds it. A little bit of knives out there. A little bit of humor.
Again, they're fierce.
But it looks like Dux will be able to find the kill. And look at that. That 5-round lead suddenly cut down to 1.
yeah. I mean, lowriders are just so aggressive on their attacks, right? They know how to take the site. They know how to take the space very aggressively, very quickly. That by the time that Periwinkle reacts, there's only like 3 members of them remaining, or 2, right? So yeah, just very fast, like lightning, right? Once it strikes, you don't even know it hit you, and then you're suddenly at the back foot trying to retake a side.
It's gonna be difficult now for the side of Periwinkle to regain their footing, because at the moment, lowriders, they've finally found it. But at the moment, I will say it's gonna be that Nightfall coming out as well. They're gonna be looking to commit towards Seaside. The From the Shadows does get cancelled, but it shouldn't really matter too much with the Paranoia coming out as well to try and stall out the retake. They're gonna be looking for this plant. However, they're unable to do so at the moment. Nightfall this time coming out from the side of Taken by the Wind. The Prowler coming out as well to try and go for the blind. Rolling Thunder being used. The response coming out from the side of Lowriders. And Avocado with the triple kill spray down gets 3. It's down to a 2 versus 4. Ha Senpai gets taken down by Dux. It's not gonna be the ace today, but it's down to Zeus in the 1 versus 4, and Avocado with the quadra kill ties up the rounds.
I mean, as I've mentioned, right, they're so fast with their takes, and they used everything on that C execute. like everything to from like the Nightfall to the Rolling Thunder and securing Avocado 3 kills, all of that as well. Like it was just like so much utility flying on that side, trying to take control, preventing that flood from happening because they know that they were on an eco, right? They only had one rifle in the hands of Pay. The rest of them were on pistols, sheriffs, right? Classics. So they knew that the range on that would be much stronger if it was close range. So they kept them at a distance and gunned them down. They kept them out of sight. That was just amazing, right? But now, going into the next round, looking at the options for Periwinkle here, because they are now tied, they do have the overdrive ready for Ha Senpei, so he can drop for something, for like any one of his teammates here and just buy a shield for himself, utilize that. But yeah, it's very dangerous. Potato Corler is only one away from his ult. Sarah one away from the lockdown as well, which could be an option for the retake here, but given that the pace of lowriders, they really do be ride or die because
Thanks.
they're so fast.
And I gotta say, with that speed, right, with that ability to just converge onto site so convincingly, so quickly, it makes it difficult to actually respond to it. And they committed quite a bit on the side of Periwinkle at the moment, but at the very least, it is gonna be rifles on their side now, so they can look to take the duels now. But Sarah will be the first one to go for it. Doesn't find the kill at the moment. The nade, the paint shells comes out. Sarah able to dodge it out, but will they clear out this angle? I mean, we got to see Ashna play this angle a while ago, but it looks like they're not going to be utilizing any information here. Sarah gets one, Avocado with the trade. Senpei goes for the open door, finds two. They were unaware, caught unaware with that door open, and Zeus finds another. It's all down to Ashna, the 1 versus 3. And of course, overdrive available on Ha Senpei as well if they want to utilize it at the moment. But it looks like with the spike down, it's going to be a bit difficult. Dark cover as well being utilized, but the spike should be able to be picked up at the very least. But I'm not sure much can be done, especially with this flank by taken by the wind.
Headshot.
And I spoke too soon.
Yep. I mean, they're gonna be staying here on the seaside just in case, but you know they can easily rotate.
I mean, this is a crossfire. I mean, Ashley might be caught unaware, unable to find the kill. Ha Senpei finds a triple kill, and finally another round for Periwinkle.
I can
And
hold
looks
the
like the
area
timeout
pretty
was
well
worth it.
myself. Make sure
Yeah,
to
I
cover
mean
the
they're
angle
able to
I
maintain
can't.
that lead that they've had from earlier on in the game, and I love how they use the map geometry and the map control that they have, right? Because you know, Ka Senpei, like with that open door, because it just seemed like they were getting shot from all angles here on the side of lowriders because they had people shooting at them from C, they had people shooting them
Placing
from
alarm
B
bot.
main. So this is the type of playstyle that I want to see from Periwinkle here, and I think they're gonna attempt it again, but this time over on the A side.
And looking at it, yeah, A-side contests from the side of Periwinkle, but it looks like lowriders are deciding to go for the C-side hit. It is going to be the Killjoy utility set up here. Of course, if they're caught unaware, that Swarm Grenade can do a lot of damage, but they're going to be committing a Showstopper as well from Potato Curler. Will you find a kill this time? Yes! Finally, Potato Curler is able to find a kill with that Showstopper. Finally not cursed this time, I gotta say. But with that, 4 versus 5 now. Overdrive and Rolling Thunder available on the side of Periwinkle if they want to commit this. But Dux finds another kill. Ha Senpei gets taken down. The Rolling Thunder going to be utilized, but it's going to be an open plant. It's planted for Mount. And with the smoke, I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. Swarm Grenade is going to be broken down, but one is still available. The Shrouded step on forward as well. It's going to be Kenny S Jr. on the front lines. Gets the kill to take him by the win. It's down to the 2 versus 5 as Zeus is there. Quick with the trade. Flashpoint onto Mound. It looks like they're going to try and look for more. Dux finds the kill to Zeus. Kramacha on their lonesome in the 1 versus 3. Aftershock to deny the defuse, and with the smoke going down, Avocado takes the kill. Tied up once again, 10-10.
Oh my lord. I don't even know where to begin with that because finally, finally, Potato Curler gets a showstopper off on Sarah there to secure the space for the team. And you know, like given that C site was basically given to Periwinkle, I expected a little bit more coming out
Placing
from
swarm grenade.
from Periwinkle there because they did use the Rolling Thunder to clear out site, but lowriders were just too smart. They planted for sands, they played in sands. A very ballsy play from Ken, yes, but still very effective, able to stall out and win the round.
find you.
I mean, it was definitely the aggressive positioning that really, at the very least, went for a trade, right? So it was 1-for-1. And it's all about that aggression coming out from the side of Lowriders as they're pushing on to B side this time. And look at the buy on the side of Periwinkle. Once again, they're on the weaker side. Avocado gets taken by the wind. The shouted step as well from Kenny S Jr. Going towards the front line. Kramacha needs to be careful. Only a Stinger had the Boombot. He does spot them out. We'll have to back away and reload, but it's down to the 4 versus 5. We still haven't really seen much of this overdrive from Haha Senpai. Did utilize it once a while ago, but can look to utilize it again for this retake. But with Potato Curlet finding the kill to Sarah, it's gonna be a difficult round this time. Ghost shots not landing at the moment. Going for the swing. Fault line is there to stun them up, and with that, Avocado finds the kill to Haha Senpai, and Zeus, through the smoke, through the dark cover, gets the kill, gets killed instead. Kramacha will get not blinded out actually with the Stinger, but it doesn't matter. A flawless round coming out from the side of Lowriders, and this is just the attacking side that really matters here, that comes out in Lotus.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like as you've mentioned earlier in this game, Lotus is a very attacker-sided map because the attackers have a lot of options to rotate, right? And especially also given the Neon who can run around across the map whenever they like, right? Like they were still able to beat the timings from the defenders here because it's really just that convenient for the attackers to rotate. They have rubble control and B main control. They can pivot to B or they can crunch onto A. If they have B main control and Sands control, they can pivot again to B or to C. It's just that type of speed that Periwinkle needs to adapt with, right? And should
Yeah.
discuss right now in this timeout on how they can defeat or how they can at least counter these rotate times for uh, low riders. Because right now, if something doesn't feel right for low riders, they just get out immediately, right? But if it feels right for them, if they know for a fact, for example, and see that it's only going to be Sarah, they just full force it, right? Like immediately. Potato curler satchels in, Avocado puts out all of his utility. It's this type of speed that they really need to address right now because right now it's 11 to 10. Close game, yes, but you can't afford to make mistakes here now.
Yeah, it just feels like Lowriders are for sure just having a great time here on the attacking side, and they have a sizable lead right now in terms of economy. So yes, the rounds are close, but they should sit well and pretty at the moment with their economic lead at the moment. Because even if they lose this round, they can go for another bye. But if on the side of Periwinkle, if they lose this round, yes, they'll have a bye for the next round, but it's gonna be a match point. So it's gonna be a bit difficult to actually force this issue, but they do have sheriffs in the hands, and you know what I say? You know what I always say? Sheriffs on the right hands can deal a lot of damage. And of course, Lowriders, they're looking for this B-side hit, but they're hesitating a little bit. They're gonna be opening the door instead. From the shadows or C-side, that's a spike by the way, and it looks like Senpai is gonna be backing away, not looking to take the fight towards C, and it's gonna be an open plant once again towards Mound. And yes, lockdown is available on Sarah, but will it be enough on this retake?
Yeah, will they be able to compensate for their weaponry with that lockdown? Because right now, most of the players for lowriders are in Sands. They keep planting Sands. This is their game plan. And they should know this already. They're gonna invest one player there inside. Dux gets one. Gets two.
Dux finds the second one as well. Zeus there with the trade. Faultline comes out to stun up, and will be the lockdown. Not detaining any player at the moment, but it looks like the counter lockdown is going to be utilized. Will it be fast enough though? They're defusing the spike. This could be exactly what's needed, but the dark cover goes down, and Potato Curler able to take down Zeus. It was a lockdown committed on the side of Lowriders, but it was enough at the very least to put some pressure onto Periwinkle, and now they are on match point.
Yeah, I mean, match point of this best of one. So whoever wins this game is going to have a massive advantage now because they're going to go 1-0. And they have the tools to do it. They still have the Nightfall. They have the Rolling Thunder to make their side assist Potato Killer in that entry. And I don't think their Periwinkle's going to have the means to stop them from this because they have half armors, regens. They might not be able to survive that much utility coming their way. So lowriders need to play this smart, but Periwinkle needs to play this smarter.
I mean, I'm still waiting for Haha Senpai's overdrive.
Yeah, same.
Like
Me too.
the high gear overdrive combo, the slide combo is gonna be deadly in this retake, and it looks like it's gonna be a retake position for the side of Periwinkle. Sarah gets caught off guard once again. I mean, Sarah's been playing such aggressive positions, by the way, and every single time I feel like they get punished for it. And now
Yeah,
with the killjoy down, there's no utility to stop this plant. They're gonna be taking C site once again. I mean, they're clearing out the utility here, but Dux finds another one as well. The Zeus, it's falling apart for the side of
Spike
Periwinkle.
planted.
I don't think they can do this anymore. I know they set up the overdrive available, but in a 3 versus 5, with all the momentum against you, I don't think this is doable. Avocado finds another one taken by the win. 2 versus 5, Hasempe with the first blood. This could be it for the side of Periwinkle. Swarm grenades being activated, dark cover onto the spike. We'll be looking for that defuse at the very least. Nightfall being committed by Dux, looking for that aggressive position, but Potato Curler finds the kill, and Dux with the triple kill. And with that, Low Riders take the game.
Yeah, I mean, amazing game overall from both teams, but Low Riders woke up on their attacking side because they were so aggressive. They knew how to take the spaces. They knew how to take advantage of Periwinkle's tendencies, right? To fast rotate, But, like they were able to correctly identify which sites were the weak sites and which sites were the strong sites and act accordingly, right? They used everything to their advantage, and in the end, it just gave them such a dominant lead, right? It's just so oppressive from the side of lowriders in terms of their attacking side, and it's just very impressive.
Yeah, and with that, I mean, I will say a close game nonetheless, right? Despite the very dominant attacking side coming out from Low Riders, it was still a close game nonetheless, 13 to 10. Nothing to scoff at for the side of Periwinkle, but at the end of the day, there's going to only be one winner. But with that being said, that's only game number 1 of this Group B day 1, and I will say we still have a lot going for us. That was already an exhilarating game number 1. But we're still going to be having another game later, of course, with the next pair of competitors. But before that, before anything else, we are going to be going on a quick little break, so make sure to stick around. We'll be right back. See you in just a bit. Hello and welcome back everyone to the Vexalis Space Cup Group B day number 1. Once again, I am your shoutcaster for the night, Abyxss, and with me is the one and only shoutcaster, Anger, co-shoutcasting with me tonight. And I gotta say, what a banger for game number 1. I gotta say, Anger, that was a close matchup nonetheless. Despite the dominating second half coming out from the side of Lowriders, a close game overall. And if that's how we got to see game number 1, I'm already excited to see how game number 2 will go.
Yeah, I mean both teams showing what they're capable of, right? Like a 13-10 is not bad, right? We've seen both teams
Yeah.
dominate over the course of that map, but ultimately lowriders were able to pull it off. But now we're gonna be jumping onto the next game between Smellas and Vexalis Lunaris.
Yeah, Vexalis, Lunaris, and Smellas. I
Mhm.
I gotta say
Creative
that's an
name.
interesting, creative. Yeah. Let's just put it at that. They really picked their brains as to what they wanted to really name themselves, and that's what they went with. And well, you know what? I respect the decision, and overall, it's gonna make it a lot more funny for us to shoutcast this. And I mean, I hope it's humorous for the audience as well watching, because I mean, it's gonna be another intense game nonetheless, despite
Mhm.
it being a changing it of teams, right? It's a new best of one, so we're gonna be seeing new players, new exciting fights overall, and I'm looking forward to it. If game number 1 showed us anything, it's that we're gonna be having another really good game.
Yeah, we're gonna be jumping over onto Haven this time. Another
Ooh.
one of the more popular maps during this tournament. We're gonna be jumping over onto Haven. Smella starting off on the attacking side, and Lunar is starting on the defense. So, Abyss, I want to know your thoughts. Like Haven in general, what do you expect out of this game?
We had a 3-site map a while ago. We have another 3-site map now. So
Different
if
flavor.
different flavor of a 3-site map, I guess you can say that.
Mm.
I will say defenders have at least a better time on Haven
Oh yeah.
as compared to Lotus, in my opinion.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
think there was a time, if I recall correctly, there was a time during VCT where it was actually defender sided for a brief moment. Now, I think it is back to being another attacking sided map. Question is how these players will play it out, because defender sided map, an attacker sided map, despite it being attacker sided, there's still a lot of opportunities for defenders to play out their rounds, especially with the more defensive capabilities that are available, especially with the side smokes, right? So
Mhm.
as you said, different flavor of a map, despite it being another 3-site map. I'm hoping for another interesting matchup nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, from the tournament so far over in Group A, Breach and Omen are popular agents here, and you can see already the hovers coming out on the side of Fortmela here. Yeah, Omen, another as mentioned a while ago, very strong agent, but Breach finally coming out here again. Uh, like Breach has a lot of stall potential here, and the angles are basically made for him, right? You could stun a long, you could stun sewers, you could stun garage, you can stun B, you could stun C, blind everywhere, right? Like it is a very strong option. But yeah, looking at the current hovers right now, Sova secured already on the side of Fartsmala.
Yeah, and I think it is going to be Sova on both sides nonetheless,
Mm-hmm.
of course. And I will say, at the moment, I think it's going to be somewhat of another like mirror comp, but the only difference is the duelist and the sentinel. Now,
Yeah.
or maybe not. Actually, we might see a killjoy or a double cipher possibly, but I mean, I'm expecting it to be
Okay.
another somewhat of a standard breach composition that both teams want to run. As you mentioned, breach is just very strong overall in this map. And
Yeah.
a lot of teams have been running breach and breach neon specifically. I have not seen breach raise on Haven.
Yeah, I have not as well. This is definitely something new. I mean, the main advantage of a Neon and even a Jet running them alongside a Breach and a Sova is that Sova can give the information for Breach to lay down his utility, and then the duelist, either Neon or Jet, can capitalize off of it, right? Off of like a stun or a flash. So it's definitely possible with Raze, but not as consistent because you only have the satchels for so long, right? Meanwhile, you have Jet with the dash and Neon more consistently with her sprint. So, this will be interesting. I would interested to see on how they would go about playing this composition with the Raze, but I mean, it's worked before. It could work again. I'm just curious to see what they have in store because we already know how the fart smellers are gonna play this round, right? You can see them already posted up over on C, possibly doing a fast C take, but they could be defeated by the utility of Lunaris here. So let's see.
Yeah, and at the moment, it is going to be another default possibly coming out from the side. I believe Fort Smells are on the defender side, by the way, and it is gonna be Lunaris on the attacking side. And right now, they are gonna be split up across the map. And looking at it, they are leaning towards the C side hit. Not a lot of utility defending C at the moment, and the recon dart will be thrown out towards that mid angle, but at the moment, not really finding much. So it's gonna be a slow game right now here, Anger. But it looks like they're gonna be committing towards the C side. It will be the push on forward. And it looks like Lunaris are gonna be looking to execute towards the C side. Marshall Lee does actually find the kill onto I Lost My Gary on the lurk. It will be a free plant nonetheless, though, in the 4 versus 5. Shock darts can deal some damage there. Viquesta on low HP already, but Bonaken playing very aggressively. The frenzy shot's not landing at the moment. This is pistol round after all, so weak guns nonetheless. But it's gonna be the spray down. Bonaken able to find one. Zuazana was able to find a kill to Husky Wolfie, however. It's gonna be a 3 versus 4 now. The Paranoid comes out as well with the fault line. And it's gonna be a retake position. Vizzle able to find a kill to Zuazana. The flashpoint coming out. I'm not Ning Ning going for the spray down, possibly with the ghost. Unable to find the second, but it will be down to the last 2 players. And it will be Fart Smellas taking the pistol.
Yeah, very methodical play from both teams here. Slow, calculated moves, right? On the side of Fart Smellas, the retake was just wonderful. They were able to piece up the site one by one, right? Able to identify where Lunars were, right? They were able to identify that Omen was outside of garage there. They were able to utilize their breach utility and invest them right onto the site and funnel Lunaris over on that green box. But Lunaris under execute as well, considering all of their options, taking it slow, and once they were absolutely sure, they were pushed onto the site. Took a little bit more space towards CT just to force the issue, but ultimately it was Fart Smells who came out victorious in that round.
Yeah, and with that, it's gonna be another anti-eco round as always, as these games go. And they do have a Guardian on Serenity, so that is gonna be a dangerous rifle nonetheless, and Zuazana as well with the Bulldog. So they will have some good firepower if they can carry these guns into the bonus round. And I think that's where it will matter the most, really, if you can keep as many of your guns here alive in the anti-eco round. But look at the lurk out coming out from I Lost My Gary, pushing all the way down towards A long, able to take some space here. But with that, it should be an A execute, but they may be running into Marshall Lee with the Spectre. Need to be careful. Smokes, dark cover will be utilized to block out the entrance. But it's going to be the slow walk up here. It is going to be Marshall Lee holding onto the angle. The corner, able to find the kill on the Bonaken. And with that, the fault line will be utilized as a response, but it won't matter. Marshall Lee able to find a second. And with the aftershock kill onto Marshall Lee to trade it out, it won't be enough though. There's a 2 versus 4 now. Paranoid coming out. Viquesta now blinded up. Not going to be committed into at the moment though. Flashpoint going to be utilized, trying to get some space, but it won't be enough. Only one to fall, and that will be Marshall Lee to be the one to fall. But it is gonna be a clean round nonetheless, coming out from the side from Fart Smellas.
Yeah, they're gonna be able to keep most of their most of their weaponry that they invested in here to the next round, which could give them a chance. But now it's gonna be a full buy from the side of Lunaris here. Like they did try their best to make some space over an A, but Marshall Lee just holding down the position, able to stand their ground, and now it looks like Lunaris loves seeing what's happening over on C, and just considering their options afterwards, because they have been doing this consistently for 3 rounds.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same setup. I'm wondering if it will really like make a difference now, since it is gonna be bonus. They are gonna be on the rifles, so this can be the opportunity to actually make this play now that they have the firepower. The question is, can they actually find out that space? And they are gonna be contesting towards this middle area, but look at I lost my Gary. Looking so close to Marshall Lee down towards sewers there on a short. But it's not gonna be finding a kill just yet. They are just so close, a meter away from each other. But it will be Marshall Lee with the shot. With that sheriff, does get the kill until I lost my Gary, and that's the lurker down. A gun down as well, mind you. But it wasn't unable to be picked up by Marshall Lee, and it looks like the rest of Lunaris are gonna be backing away.
Yeah, I mean, you get to see the pivot immediately. Once their Cypher was down, the lurk option is dead. They immediately rotate over into C, and now they're gonna make their way onto site. But Smellas are gonna take their
30
time here. They're
seconds
gonna
left.
wait to.
Aftershock. Oh, nearly connecting. Was
planted.
able to back away at the last moment. I don't think it was going to connect nonetheless, but Husky Wolfie will be able to get the kill to Marshall Lee. The lurking Reyes tried to push up a bit too far, gets taken down, but the blind comes out. I'm not Ning Ning was able to find the kill to Husky Wolfie. Down to the 4 versus 3. This can be a bonus round converted in favor of Smellas, but Vizzle is not going to be going out without a fight. Does get taken down, however. I'm not Ning Ning with a triple kill. It's all down to Viquesta, and even they get taken down. And now bonus round goes in favor of Smellas.
Yeah, like Lunaris looked a little bit lost there in the post plant, not knowing which angles to watch there, which angles to prioritize and look out for, because they just looked a little bit they looked lost basically, right? Like they were trying to push from garage, they were trying to hold their positions from long and on site as well, but it wasn't cohesive, and that just made the lives of Smellas so easy, because if you don't have any cohesion, it's just going to be easier for the defenders to retake the site if they can piece you up one by one, focus on each one of you. So they need to work on that on the side of Lunaris. And yeah, now we're going to see a more standard A control early on to the round. They know that it's gonna be a point of weakness because of that Reyes, who is just a pain in their size right now. So yeah, you can see the defenders already deciding to give up the space, but it looks like Lunaris want to explore other options over into mid.
I mean, they still have that lurk on I lost my Gary playing towards grass. A little bit dangerous though, nonetheless, holding onto a bulldog. So they do have a hero rifle, so we'll be able to try to break some utility. Unable to do so at the moment. Swarm grenade is still there. But it looks like the rest of Lunaris are going to be going towards this A-side hit. And look, the lurk from I Lost My Gary was able to pull away some of the players. The Owl Drone will be utilized towards mid, but it's going to be an A-side hit. Fast lead coming out from Banankin, and it will be a push on towards the A-side. And with that, it's going to be a free plant. Of course, the Rolling Thunder is available on Viquesta, but they're going to be on Sheriffs only. And the Bulldog that is on I Lost My Gary is so far away from the rest of the teammates that it's going to be a bit difficult. Recon Dart comes out. They're going to be trading utility here. No one getting scanned at the moment. But with the paranoia in the hands of Husky Wolfie, I Lost My Gary finds a kill to Zuhazana. And it's down to the 4 versus 5. The lurking kill does find some value. Shock Dart kill from Sisoxi. Was able to find Vizzle and down to a 4 versus 4. Then be dropping down. Showstopper available. Sisoxi finds another, finds a third. And I'm not Ning is able to find one as well to Bunak. And it's all down to I Lost My Gary. And even they get taken down. It's going to be another round for the side of Smellas.
Yeah, that was a beautiful retake there, coming from all angles there, starting with that paranoia to disguise Marco Lee and the Sova jumping down from heaven there, and also the showstopper immediately, right? It's only round 4 a while ago, and Marshall Lee already has the showstopper. He was able to build it up so quickly and utilize it immediately as well to win out that round. So that was just very well played. And again, Lunaris making the retake a little bit too easy because they look disconnected. They need to start playing together as a team if they want to win a round.
I mean, mind you, that was an eco round. So
Yeah, that was an eco round,
I'm not
you
gonna put it past them to convert it here now that they actually do have rifles, 4 Phantoms and a Vandal. They do also have the Hunter's Fury and the Rolling Thunder available, and that Overdrive is just 1 point away, so they can look to utilize that if they pick up an orb. But at the moment, they are going to be trying to contest towards this garage. Fault line comes out from I'm Not Ning Ning, doesn't connect onto anyone, but with that crucial ability now down, I feel like Lunaris can actually look to execute. And there it is, the Rolling Thunder. That's exactly what I was talking about. They can look to execute on the B side. Hunter's Fury has the response though, coming out from the side of Seesoxi. Unable to find a kill at the moment, does not connect at the moment, and it will be I Lost My Gary finding a lurk kill on the Marshall Lee once again towards an A side, and they're going for an A side pinch. Flashpoint onto the link, and it will be another kill for I Lost My Gary. And they actually open up the A side. Husky Wolfie finds another as well, and it will be the crossfire. Flawless round coming out from Lunaris, and finally they respond quick and clean.
Now we finally see the advantage of having I Lost My Gary lurk, because if they are successful with that lurk, they can do a lot of damage. They can pinch them. You could see that the call was to push A side there with the breach stun, with the neon pushing, and also I Lost My Gary picking up the kills, right, on that Omen. So, you know, that is the type of coordinated play that we want to see out of Lunaris. This is exactly what they need to be doing, and if they can continue this, they could be able to close this gap.
Yeah, and it's one step at a time, right? And that's all they really need to do. Fault line comes out, trying to take some space. They're going to be picking up the orb as well. Vequesta trying to build up the Rolling Thunder once again. I'm Not Ning Ning. Very dangerous jump peak. Doesn't get punished for it nonetheless though. But I Lost My Gary. This time, the lurking Cypher does get punished, but Seesoxi tried to push on forward and gets punished as well. So over aggression from both sides. It's gonna be a 1-for-1 trade, but with the operator in the hands of Marshall Lee, unable to find the shot at the moment. Relay ball comes out, Overdrive as well with the response. The satchels aren't gonna be enough. It will be a kill. Flashpoint as well to try and blind out, support the team, but Zuazana with the flank. The spike is actually down. The Overdrive is gonna be running low as well. Needs to find a kill at the moment. The high gear is still available with the slide, but the Paranoia comes out as well. The Aftershock being utilized from Vequesta, unable to find a damage, but it's down to Bonakin, and the 1 versus 2 gets crossfired. I'm Not Ning Ning finding the final kill. 5-1 now, and looks like the response from Lunaris gets shut down immediately.
And they're able to keep that operator for Marshall Lee to keep onto the following round. But
Oh yeah.
Abyss, I don't know if you noticed that, but as soon as Lunaris made their way onto A lobby, Fartsmell already had players jumping through window. They had Zuazana and Serenity already lurking over there, and they just had to wait for the call, right? And they were able to get 3 easy kills onto Sewers to shut down the push of Lunaris.
I mean, I think that's the weakness of losing your Cypher, right? You no longer have that flank watch, and we were talking about that in game numbers 1 as well. Having that flank watch is crucial, and at the moment, you lose your Cypher early on, it's gonna be a bit difficult. Marshall Lee trying to find the pick there with the operator, unable to do so. The Aftershock as well on towards Sewers, trying to find some space, but the smoke is going to be utilized a little bit aggressively for the side of Fartsmellas. They're trying to deny as much space as possible, and it looks like it's succeeded, especially with the operator towards A side. But look at I Lost My Gary once again with the lurk, but this time Zuazana once again punishes. This Cypher just can't seem to catch a break, getting punished every step of the way, and now they're forced into this full commit. They're gonna be running it down with the fast lane. It will be Bonakin in the front lines. Vequesta gonna be able to pick up the orb once again, and it should be a C side for the taking for the side of Lunaris.
Yeah, I mean, look at the amount of space already being
Bonakin?
taken. Look at that. Little wild here.
Yeah, Serenity finding a double kill as well. It's down to the 2 versus 4. The lockdown hasn't been destroyed by the Hunter's Fury, and it's just down to Vizzle in the 1 versus 4. Spray down is available as well as the shock darts. Unable to find it at the moment. They'll get some chip damage, but Marshall Lee will be the one to take them down. 6-1. We're looking at a really strong start coming out from the side of Fartsmellas.
Yeah, I mean, you could already tell the amount of control that Fartsmell is commanding in this game, because earlier in the round, Marshall Lee just showing some presence over in Sewer, drawed out 2 important pieces of utility, mind you. They drawed out the Paranoia and the stun from Vequesta there just to clear them out, just to make sure that Sewer was safe. That's the amount of fear that they have for that off, and just forcing them to make some costly mistakes, especially with Van Aken forcing the issue, pushing CT just to gain some sort of advantage, but ultimately backfiring on them.
Yeah, it didn't work out for them at the moment. And right now, I will say, Lunaris, they're down on the back foot once again. Only sheriffs at hands and a judge. I gotta say, they need to find some space. And they look, they have a long control, and I feel like it just isn't enough space. They can look to explode towards A site. Zuazana trying to find some space towards garage. The turret does get broken down, but that doesn't really lead any of the players of Fart Smellas away. They're still playing the split up. They're still playing their default properly. And I don't think Lunaris can actually look to take advantage of that turret break. And it looks like they're going to be going towards this ace site. Marshall Lee once again holding onto this angle. This time not with the operator, with the Phantom this time. It's I'm Not Ning Ning that has the operator holding down towards C. But Marshall Lee's going to be pushing up fast lane as well. They're going to be executing towards the ace site. Marshall Lee will make first contact. We'll be able to find one. But the quick trade from Husky Wolfie is there. Sisoxy with the heaven controls able to find Viquesta as well. The spike is down towards site. And it looks like Bonaken with the judge is able to find a kill on the Serenity. Down to the 3 versus 3 now. It will be Zuazana finding a kill that lost Magari. And Husky Wolfie able to finally take down the Sova. It's down to the 2 versus 2. Rolling Thunder comes out, and Bonaken is stunned up. The spike hasn't been planted. The From the Shadows being utilized by Husky Wolfie to go all the way towards Seaside, and it's gonna be the
10
full
seconds
root take.
left.
And with 10 seconds left on the clock, the spike will be planted at the very least. Phantom picked up by Husky Wolfie. Will look for the reposition. It's gonna be a clutch angle now for Husky. We'll have to look for a play at the very moment, but they are stacked up together. They are looking. They are aware of this possible garage play with a turret out as well. Husky Wolfie won't be able to find much value, and we'll have to back away with the one way onto the spike. Can look for the paranoia play. Will look for the blind. Unable to blind Suhasana, however. And with that, once again, Fart Smellas. They smelling some dinner tonight, and they are cooking.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Husky Wolfie a little bit over there because Zuazana's turret was able to locate him, giving them an garage. They already accounted for the smoke as well, coming out from Husky Wolfie themselves. So, you know, like if that paranoia hit, I feel like it was very different. In the end, that turret just
Yeah.
a huge difference as well. But yeah, like the amount of control that Fart Smellas have over on A is like, even though they give up A long, A short just seems to be such a
I'll show
huge
them.
problem. They can't flush out Marshall Lee. It's just a big problem that I don't know what they can do to counter that, honestly.
Marshall Lee is just good for that one, at the very least one. But with the operator now revealed towards C site, I feel like Lunaris are like hesitating at the moment in terms of their execution, but they're looking for an opening. And at the moment, they do find the openings, right? They're able to execute. But the problem is they can't seem to hold. And with the fast lane utilized to just cross, Marshall Lee actually finds the kill until I lost my Gary. This Cypher is not finding a lot of value. It's struggling at the moment. And Husky Wolfie will be able to find the kill on the Serenity. At the very least there towards mid. But look at the lurk. The lurk coming up from Seasoxy. Unable to find the kill. However, Husky Wolfie going for the swing. The whiff does cost the Sova. And with that, it's a 4 versus 3 now. They do have the Rolling Thunder available on Viquesta as well. And they're going to be utilizing it towards the A side. Doesn't connect on to Marshall Lee at the moment, but they're looking for the duo. Bonaken finds the kill onto Marshall Lee, and with that, 4 versus 2. Finally, a response from Lunaris.
Spike planted.
And with that, they should have this round in the bag, but I can't speak too soon. Paranoia and Flashpoint being utilized. Zuazana blinded out completely. Operator in the hands of I'm Not Ning Ning could be deadly. Owl Drone gets broken as well. But at the moment, they can look for this retake. They do have a bit of credits left remaining, but they do have an operator in their hands as well. Not really the most optimal gun to go for this retake, but nonetheless, they're going for it anyways. So it looks like they're going to be pushing on forward. Zuazana gonna be have a difficult time clearing this out, and Bonaken will be able to punish. It's down to the operator on I'm Not Ninning. Goes for the shot, unable to find it. And Husky Wolfie with the 3K. Finally, Lunaris finds the second round on the board.
Yeah, I mean, finally they were able to decisively take the site, right? They were able to use the Rolling Thunder. They were able to utilize that Neon well to make space and catch Marshall Lee off guard, and finally take a site cleanly during that round. And yeah, this is the type of play that we need, Lunaris to be pulling, right? Like getting a little bit of map control over everything, right? Considering their options, because one of their main problems is even though they have a lot of map control, they just lack information. So they need to be playing for information. Yes, they play for map control, but given that fart smellers just don't give anything away,
Yeah.
they need to do something else, right? They need to really invest their utility into this.
I feel like the reason why Fartsman lost that round is because they actually over pushed a little bit there, right?
did,
And
yeah.
they gave too much information. So I think you're spot on in terms of your analysis here so far. Fartsmellos is just so good at denying any information at the moment. From the shadows being utilized this time from the side of Serenity, unable to find some information, but it looks like they're going to be backing away once again on the side of Lunaris, and they need to be careful. They don't know anything at the moment. They have no information. I lost my Gary, can't push up because no space is being made. They made A pressure, but they're not falling for it. Fartsmellas have decided to stack towards C. And they're going towards C side anger.
Yeah, and Schwarzman, as good as they are at denying info, they're also really good at gathering info. They know exactly where Lunaris are going. This is a right call.
Bunaken, they needed to find that opening pick, and Serenity
30
finds
seconds
Husky
left.
Wolfie as well. It's just falling apart right now for the side of Lunaris. They can't seem to get a grip. And at the moment, they do have a Lost McGarry on the lurk down towards B side. Paranoia comes out, unable to connect, but they should be able to plant the spike at the very least. But the Hunter's Fury is going to be coming out as well from Sisoxi. Unable to find a connection at the moment, does connect. Serenity finds one, and Marcelly finds the second. It's all down to Vizzle once again in the 1 versus 5, but I gotta say, I think you better save this rifle. But in the end, Sisoxi does find out Vizzle. Sova v Sova. Sisoxi comes out on top, 8-2. It's looking dominant right now from the side of Fartsmellas.
That is an understatement because right now, Fartsman is like, yeah, as I mentioned, denying information is a big thing, but again, the info gathering utility is so good. They have the turret over in garage. They have the Sova drone gains a lot of just correctly reading the place of Lunaris here, right? Like it's mind-boggling how well they're playing this right now because yeah, the map control doesn't matter to them because they have the information. But now we're gonna see a fast take here from the Neon. Let's see if this makes a difference.
I mean, they're pushing towards that A site, right? They're trying to make that space, but again, doesn't really make a difference. No information at the moment. They do reveal Raze and Sova. They do
Yeah.
reveal those two agents. But Lunaris are just hesitant. They don't want to overcommit. And they utilize the Owl Drone, they utilize Recon, they utilize Paint Shells. This should be your signal to execute. But they're waiting it out. They are aware of the Showstopper, however. So Marshall Lee, I mean, can be very deadly with that weaponry. Haha, rhyme scheme.
Nice.
Thank you very much. But at the moment, Sisoxi
Oh.
finds two, excuse me, actually goes for the fight and wins it out on A long. That is not something you'd currently expect, and will be the showstopper coming out as well. It's down to the 2 versus 4, and with the spike down, it's gonna be down to the wire for the side of Lunaris. At the moment, it looks like they are able to find the kill. Spike will be reclaimed. They do have the neural theft available if they want to use it to get some information, and they will. The From the Shadows is also available as well. They can look to go for the seaside play. And there it is. They're gonna be going for the seaside plant, but 2 ults committed. Will it be enough really? And they are split up rather widely on the side of Lunaris. They're gonna have a difficult time now.
Yeah, and mind you, Wolfie is also very low HP right now. 1 bullet
right.
on the right. Yeah.
But I mean, headshots all that matter, right? Husky Wolfie only on the Phantom, so dinks won't really matter. You need to find the kill, and with the one way at the very least on the spike, the dark cover as well to deny any information. I'm Not Ning Ning finds one, will look for the second, gets it. And with that, I'm Not Ning Ning gets the double kill, giving them whiplash, if you can say so. And it's down 9-2.
Round in the half.
It's just not looking good for the side of Lunaris.
Yeah, I mean, Fartsmellas are just disrespecting them right now. And yeah, that's also another issue that I've been noticing, right? Like, as you've pointed out, Lunaris should note that the drone and the nade have been used to stall them out. That should be a go signal to push. But they're just giving them so much respect right now on the side of Lunaris that they're not making any moves. Sure, yeah, you could be wary of the rotates, but you do know that a bunch of utility is gone, a bunch of important utility, mind you, no less. It's
Yeah.
just something that they need to consider, right? Like, they need to be braver with their executes. They need to make sure and track the utility that has already been spent because they're worried about utility that doesn't exist.
Yeah, it's just not looking good right now for the side of Lunaris. They need to find something. Of course, it's a 9-2 half. There's still an opportunity for them to make it 9-3, and we do know the standard 9-3 curse is a thing. The question is, can they even get to that third round? They have the overdrive available, not much else to work with, but Zuhazana! The timing is there! Finds the kill into Husky Wolfie, and with that, it's down to the 4 versus 5. Seasoxil trying to look for more as well. Trying to go for the kill, not really finding at the moment. Shock darts out. Serenity finds the kill. I lost my Gary, and it's just falling apart for the side of Lunaris. Bonakian, at the very least, able to find a consolation prize in that push, utilizing that fast lane towards the side. It should be a plant at the very least, but this shouldn't really matter. This doesn't really get much ultimates. Overdrive being utilized. This is where Bun Akin can look to pop up. Dink needs to be careful. Low HP. Flashpoint comes out. Blinded out. They're gonna get pincer. It's a pincer maneuver. Zuazana finds one. The graffiti play is not enough. Zuazana with a triple kill. And with that, first half 10-2 in favor of Fart Smellas.
Incredibly dominant from Fart Smellas. They certainly just stomped on them. Like, there's no other way to put that. Because, like, they just seemed so dominant. They knew everything that Lunaris is gonna pull out. Every scenario had the backup plan, right? Like, whenever this happens, they were going to push A, they were going to push C, they were pushing mid. Something that, like, is just very aggressive. They take away so much map control away from Lunaris. Lunaris loves the map. Like, wherever Lunaris is not, like, Fart Smellas are there. Like, if they're not in mid, Fart Smellas will be there, and they're gonna push window going to A. And it works. It worked for them so many times because so much information is being given away by Lunaris there that it's just kind of easy for Fart Smellas to deduce where they are, where they need to be, and what they need to do.
It's just not looking good for the side of Lunaris. They are struggling at the moment. And I'm wondering if they can turn things around now that the sides have been swapped. It's going to be on the defender side. And we were talking about how the Haven has shifted towards an attacking-sided map. And so far, defenders are having a blast at the moment. So let's see if Lunaris can make do with his defending side. But I'm not thinking will be the one to find first blood. Does fall dangerously low at the moment. The turret does get destroyed by Bonakian on the flank. But Zuazana is ready for this. And it will be the headshot to close it out. And we'll be down to the 3 versus 5. Low HP on the Questa. We'll need to be careful. I'm not Ning Ning finding another as well. And it just looks like the side of, hold on, Lunaris, I lost my Gary. Not losing the fights at the moment. And it's all the NSSA that gets taken down.
Okay. Yeah, a little bit of cancer curse. That's fine.
A bit unfortunate timing, nonetheless. But can't really do much about that, sadly.
Yeah, I mean, it's just Valorant. You know, once you're low HP and pistol round, you know, you can't really do much about that anyways. But Fart Smellas was able to, again, I think that's their signature. They're just fast, right? Their reactions are just really fast. They know what they have to do. They know their roles. They know what they need to do. They know how each other play. Like, they're doing double peeks, right? They're doing flashes, coordinated plays. It's just very nice to see.
Yeah, and so far, I mean, if they can keep it up, it's just looking so good at the moment. Serenity, once again, finding another kill into Husky Wolfie, and at the moment, it's gonna be down to the 4 versus 5. Fault line on towards grass. It will be Marshall Lee to pick up another kill. This is an anti-eco round. Bonakin, though, and the rest of the side of Lunaris did force buy, and Bonakin's able to find 2, actually. Able to back away as well. The spike has fallen. And now suddenly, it looks like they have an advantage, but no. Seasoxi looking to deny that. Down to the 3 versus 2. Bonakin is also dangerously low on half HP. Low armor as well. Needs to be careful. At the moment, the martial shot's not landing from I Lost My Gary. They're gonna be grouping up, and with the spike reclaimed, this should be a plan towards the C-Link area. Martial shots just barely whiffing Zuazana. But in this 2 versus 3 scenario, with the dark cover as well, with the swarm grenades, does get broken. But I'm not sure much can be done. The shock dart connects down to low HP, but Bonakin is still not done just yet. Martial available, shots not landing, but Serenity's there to back Zuazana up. And it will be match point now for Fart Smellas.
Yeah, I don't know how they
Match
turned that
point.
around. They were already on even terms at one point in the round, but still, Smellas able to see an advantage, right? Able to pick one out from the side of Lunaris and just run away with the lead, right? Give them an inch, they'll take a mile. It's just that good on the side of Smellas. It's insane. And mind you, right? Like, Lunaris didn't
Go,
do
go, go.
anything that badly in that round, right? They did everything they could, according to protocol. It's just that Fartsmellas just know how to take an advantage and run away with it. It's insane.
Yeah, and look at this. It's gonna be a desperation play coming out from the side of Lunaris. But I can even self-stun Splash Point as well. Blind can't see a thing. I'm not. Ning Ning finds one. Vizzel's there with the swing to take the martial lead. But Serenity quick with the trade. Down to a 3 versus 4. It's gonna be a push towards the A side. They need that side smoke quickly. The Sugar Zero smoke has to come out, and it will come out. Viquesta, blinded out by the paranoia, looking for the swing, finds one. Unable to find a second.
Spike
Succeed with the
down
judge. Takes him down. It's all down to 2 versus 3. They don't have any ultimates available on the side of
planted.
Lunaris, and this could be it. It could be the last remaining round. And with that, it will be down to this retake. Stinger and Bulldog at hand on the hands of Lunaris. Husky Wolfie. And I lost my Gary. They need to find something after
Killjoy.
Shock being utilized.
Player
Killjoy alert from Zuazana! Zuazana with the double! And it's gonna be a
Attackers
13-2 dominating game from the side of Smellas.
Yeah, like in every aspect of that game, Smellas just looked like the better team that day. Everything was already planned out. Like Zuazana was just an incredible player in this game, right? Like the lurks were perfect, the timing was on point, the utility, the stall potential as well during the also immaculate. Oh lord. Oh man, that's insane. Like it seemed like Lunaris couldn't counter anything that Fartsmellas were giving to them, right? Like it did look like Lunaris had some good ideas, right? I will give them that. They would take map control and everything else, right? But it's just so good on the side of Fartsmellas that it's like they were playing on a whole nother level.
I gotta say, it's just looked so good for Smellas. Do you smell what the Smellas are cooking? I hope you don't smell it actually. Not
I hope I
say it
don't.
out loud.
Actually, I'm
I
perfectly
hope you
fine
don't.
not smelling it.
But I will say, they just popped off, and Smellas coming out on top in such a dominating fashion. Zuazana popping off, by the way, 17 and
Mm-hmm.
4 on that Killjoy. Just felt too strong to deal with, too strong to handle. And Bun Aken wasn't too far behind, by the way, leading the team, but it just wasn't enough. A lot of value was lost in their space taking. They were unable to push on the attacking side. They were unable to retake or hold their angles on the defending side. It just felt like a dominating game from the side of Fartsmellas, and they proved it here. And with that 13-2, I gotta say, it was just an amazing game to watch overall. And with that, that does close out game number 2 of this group stage, really. And it's a best of 1, Anger.
It's the best of one.
Yeah, I mean, I will say though, it was a great games we got to watch here. First game
Yeah.
and the second game was amazing. But with that being said, we aren't streaming the game number 3. So that is gonna be it for today's Group B day number 1. We still have day number 2 of Group A tomorrow as well. So if you're here to support any of the teams playing on that group stage, make sure to watch on our scheduled time. But of course, with that being said, I think that should be it, no, Anger?
Yeah, that should be it. But we will be back tomorrow. The games would be exciting tomorrow. I promise you that.
Oh,
Like,
I mean,
yeah,
from what we've seen today and what we've seen yesterday, I
yeah,
will say we have a lot more exciting games to be had tomorrow for the following days. I'm most especially excited for the playoffs. That's what
yeah.
I'm
Me
looking
too.
forward to.
Me too.
But with that being said, that should be it for us tonight. Once again, I'm your shoutcaster, Abyxss, and with me, the one and only shoutcasting with me as well, Anger. And with that, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting the team and the stream, your teams and the stream. And with that being said, thank you so much once again. Signing off. Bye-bye.
Yeah.